So I want to talk about this Canada-China that we basically call a deal. And in the beginning, I really tried to let it go. I was like, there's nothing more to this. And everyone's talked about it 1,000 times. And I'm like, maybe I'm looking into this whole thing wrong. The joint agreement that Canada and China had when Carney went over to China. So let's flesh this out real quick. Canada is sitting in the middle of a tariff war zone disaster at this point with the US. With the US. Yeah. The people that buy everything we sell, been to wars together, protected one another. And while we're in this tense situation with them over there in this economic disaster, something that could have probably been mitigated, I don't know, through some concessions maybe. No, our prime minister decides, what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to China. I'm going to go to China. China, that country? The one that has the biggest problems with our biggest trading partner? Yeah, let's go to that guy. What exactly am I getting from China that I wasn't getting from the United States? And this is where the really starts. So in 2024, China only took exactly 3.8% of all of our exports. All. Not some, not niche, all. The United States took 72% of our exports. Let that sit with you. 72%. Are you seeing it now? The BS? Carney goes, we need to diversify. You want to diversify from 72% to 3.8%? You think you're going to get 70%, even close to that from the Chinese? And yet you want to piss off America. What part of that makes sense? Then I read the joint statement of the Canada-China leaders meeting, and right away, alarm bells. It says Canada and China are advancing a new strategic partnership. Words like mutual respect, positive outcomes, and all sorts of language that sounds like somebody's trying to spray Febreze on some kind of a garbage can. Because that's what this is. It's a garbage heap at this point. On fire, too. And I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, man. Are we really doing this? Are we really talking about the same China Canada has warned people about for the last 30 years, that the U.S. has warned about for the last 50, 60 years? The forced labor China, cyber threats, foreign interference, IP theft, technology risk, military risks. No, that's not how liberals do it. I mean, that's the whole point here, right? The roadmap literally says Canada and China want a healthy, stable, and sustainable economic trade relationship. With China? Are you serious? The U.S. is our #1 ally and client. Just keep that in mind for like 5 seconds. You don't gotta like Trump to understand that, okay? You don't have to like his stupid tariffs, and none of us need to pretend that any of this is fair, okay? Cool? I'm conceding that. But if your biggest customer is threatening your economy, and instead of having a normal conversation with this person who could literally level huge parts of your economy, you then go, hey, you know what? I'm going to go and talk to this person's economic nemesis. I want to stop right here. Before I go any further, I want Canadians to hear what Carney said today. The U.S. is talking about forced labor, and they're proposing new tariffs over this. Carney brushes it off, of course, and now he's promising forced labor legislation will be coming soon.
This is not a surprise. It's something that the U.S. has been planning for a few months.
A planned investigation by the U.S. Trade Representative into Canada, plus 59 other countries, where they allege no one has done enough to stop the importation of products made by forced labor.
You saw it. So let's get this straight. The U.S. is saying that forced labor is basically a trade issue for them. And most of this happens to be with deals with the very country that does all this, which is China. And Carney's answer to this is basically, don't worry, CUSMA protects a lot of our goods, and we'll take care of that forced labor. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. So I need you to explain this to me. Explain to me why, if forced labor matters, Canada is deepening its strategic partnership with China, the paragon of forced labor. Explain why the United States is the problem when we can't negotiate with them, but China gets the roadmap from us instead of the U.S. Explain to me why Trump is so morally impossible for you, but Beijing, yeah, completely fine. What kind of yo-yo upside down are we living in? And I'm like, hold on, man. The country that is the most notorious for IP theft, we're going to build an IP relationship with them. This is literally like telling someone, hey, you know what? This neighborhood is dangerous, but don't worry. We made a committee basically with all the robbers that rob all the houses, and it's going to work out for you. Don't worry. We're sitting here with the United States, our biggest trading ally by not even a small margin, as you will see. For years, CSIS and most of our security agencies have basically been warning us about China, the same China that we've reported on and the world has reported on for their hideous tactics of forced labor, slave labor actually of the Uyghurs. And now we're sitting there going, yes, let's have a frequent and long-lasting partnership together. Are these people out of their minds? And before anybody says that I'm exaggerating, let's remind everyone of who we're talking about and who we're trying to jump in bed with. I'm not going to drop the whole thing. A reminder of the country that Carney is choosing to work with while pretending that the United States has become some kind of supervillain.
The evidence suggests that China's cotton crop could be far more dependent on forced labor than was previously thought.
Xinjiang makes mountains of cotton, a fifth of the world's total. We're turned back at checkpoints.
We'll pay.
Stopped from filming, questioned and followed. But when we get out to film, we are entitled to film in public anywhere in China. China says these places are simply about creating jobs, but everywhere we go, there's this extraordinary effort to stop us documenting any of it. The evidence suggests that the real intention here in Xinjiang is the dismantling of an entire culture and its rebuilding through the total control of people's families, their faith, their thoughts, and on a massive scale across the fields and factories of this region in the work that they do.
Back in 2020, this BBC report that you just saw said hundreds of thousands of Uyghurs were being forced into cotton plantations in Xinjiang. Carney goes there to help Canada. And apparently, Carney, the Catholic, has no moral issue doing business with a country that does that. And everybody in government, including Carney, knows this. So don't pretend they don't know this. They know. There's a reason why Carney gets to turn around and tell all Canadians that we can help make America great again.
Canada Strong will help make America great again. As the United States approaches its 250th birthday, happy birthday, as the most dynamic, resilient, and inventive country the world has ever seen, as a country whose founding values of liberty, democracy, justice, and openness should continue to serve as guides to its future and the future of the world.
Math is math. It's that simple. Does hating a guy based on your moral assessment of him change 3.8% to 72%? And this is not me saying America's treating us great, because I'm not. This is not me saying Trump is our best friend, because he's not. What I'm saying is if your economy depends on the United States, then the United States is your BFF, okay? There's no way around this. All day, all night, BFF. And no matter what Trump calls us, 51st this, 52nd that, I don't care. You do business with the guy that takes care of your workers. There's no fairness in life. There's no diplomacy here. We've all seen it. Were governments in Canada diplomatic when they were separating people based on whether or not they took a medical treatment? There is no fairness here. The United States is the country that can hurt us the fastest because the US is the country that we built more than half our damn economy around. And instead of dealing with it like adults, we get this China sideshow. It just looks bad. It just looks bad. It makes sense for China. What doesn't make sense is why Canada is choosing to ally with a communist, fascistic partner who's also apparently very good friends with Russia, unless we forgot that, since all the liberals want a virtue signal that they hate, Russia and what it's doing in Ukraine.
We did need to step up to take more responsibility for Arctic security. We're doing that now.
Well, I mean, you're making a deal with the best friend of Russia and then pretending that you somehow have a problem with Russia. Honestly, all of this is just way too much. It's just too much. I'm tired of the gaslighting. I don't necessarily like everything about Trump. I really don't. But business is business and math is math. And if you're the kind of person that can't put his emotions aside because of what makes sense, then you have no business making any decisions about anything. Just have an opinion. And that's it.